Mi nombre es Paco. Impacto. Hi guys, what's up? This is Impact, not Paco. Sorry about not including these changes on the post-patch analysis, but it was a really long patch, so I wanted to segment things and divide the content into several videos. So yeah, let's get to it. Seals. The standard flat seals were nerfed. You guys can read the numbers for yourselves. And the scaling armor seals got buffed. On the other hand, the greater seal of health, so flat HP seals got buffed. And the scaling seals of HP also got buffed. Greater seal of health regen got buffed as well. So health regen is also now is better on seals than used to be. So what can I tell from these changes alone? So first of all, if you really want to stick with the seals for your armor runes, I recommend mixing between scaling and flat. I've been using 3 flat armor seals and 6 scaling armor seals. I think you get a really nice combo with those. But it's not the only option. It's not the only way to go. If you're facing, say, something with a lot of AD early game, and you really need the armor and the HP, there is now a way of actually getting more armor and more HP than you used to. If you swap your quints, your HP quints for armor quints, and if you swap your armor seals for HP seals, you now get more armor and more HP, if I'm not mistaken. But I can add a little annotation to the video if I'm wrong there. But yeah, so I really like these changes, to be honest. Like, it's not as if you're gonna have less armor than you used to at all costs. I still think you can you get a lot of armor if you really want to go that way, and you can also get some armor in your marks and increase those resistances values even further. As for the greater seal of health regen, if you went for my video on Doran Shield versus Ruby Crystal comparison, I actually ran HP regen quint. You guys can also try and go for HP regen seals instead of quints. It's not going to give you as much health regen, but then you can swap the quints for armor as well. So that may be an option to consider. But let's talk about glyphs now. So greater glyph of scaling cooldown reduction got buffed. Greater seal of scaling magic resist got buffed. Greater glyph of mana regeneration got buffed by a little bit, not by much. And greater glyph of scaling mana regeneration also got buffed. So let's go for mana regeneration first. I told you guys this in the past, but the only support that I run mana regeneration with is Nami, and even with Nami, I don't actually need that mana regeneration. It's just so I can spam the heals and whatever and not worry too much about mana. But I don't feel like, since glyphs are the primary slot for magic resist, I really don't like to fill those up with mana regeneration and then kind of end up squishy, going to the lane squishy. So yeah, it's kind of a playstyle thing. You guys may like it, and if you do, by all means, give these runes a try. But it's really not my style. And the mana regeneration buffs on the runes weren't that substantial to make people use them, even if they didn't before. But the scaling, the magic resist glyph changes is funny though, because I used to run all flat magic resist glyphs. Yeah, glyphs, right? Because if you go for magic resist, supports didn't usually scale. They didn't get AP items, meaning that all of their damage was pretty much base damage. Now, the phase of the game where that base damage is more powerful is early game. And that is why I chose to go for a flat magic resist, because supports didn't scale and I just had to withstand their early game damage. Supports now build AP though. So scaling magic resists begins to be of more use than it used to be. And you can also roam mid, so you want that scaling magic resist in order to be able to withstand the damage of a mid laner. So what I've been doing is, once again, just like the armor, I get 3 flat magic resist glyphs, and then I get 6 scaling magic resist glyphs. And this is it gives me enough early game magic resistance to just do whatever I want in the laning phase, roam, and not to care too much about the enemy damage. And sorry about that. And it also allows me to keep scaling up even though I'm not buying magic resist items from the get-go. What else? Scaling cooldown reduction. Now, I don't... Unless you're running something like a Soraka, I wouldn't pick cooldown reduction, because once again, that's the main spot where you want to put your magic resist at. I see these being more used by, say, a top laner that doesn't need to go magic resistance in laning phase. Something like a Renekton that can use that magic resist to just push the lane and get out of harm's way and whatever, and be a bully that he is. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot of use for scaling cooldown reduction on supports. Plus, well, that's the thing. You get 15% cooldown reduction at level 18, but as a support, you won't get to level 18 that often. And even if you get just 10% cooldown reduction, it's cool just from runes alone. But yeah, I guess it's up to you. Like, if you have this build, preset build there you really want to go for it, and it only gives you like 30% cooldown reduction, then maybe going for this is actually cool, because you're gonna get that extra 10% cooldown reduction at level 13, 14, something like that. I haven't run the math here, but you guys can let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, it can be worth it, but you have to remind yourself that by going cooldown reduction, scaling cooldown reduction, even though it's good, you'll probably have to either insert those magic resist glyphs in another slot, so Seals, Marius, or Quint, or you'll have to go to the laning phase with no magic resist at all, which can be risky. So always be wary of that. And now quintessences, which is pretty much last. So greater quintessence of cooldown reduction. So once again, cooldown reduction got buffed. 7.5% is weird for quints. It's an odd number, but I guess you guys can increase this value with some cooldown reduction glyphs, for instance. But once again, I really don't think a lot of supports go for cooldown reduction quints. I think there are better champions to use this on. And sorry about that, guys. Had a little interruption. But yeah, 7.5% is an odd number because there is no item in game that gives you 2.5% cooldown reduction. There is one item that gives you 15% cooldown reduction, so that's 5% extra, which is cool to cover up for masteries and whatnot, which is Ionian Boots of Lucidity. But once again, it's an odd number. But if you guys can actually get those 2.5% elsewhere, it might be cool. Or just go for the 7.5 and go for the 40% and well, say screw it to the extra 2.5% cooldown reduction. But it's really up to you guys. It's still a cool buff. It's still cool that they buffed the quints because they weren't getting much love. Greater quintessence of scaling cooldown reduction also got buffed. This is actually a little bit cooler because once again you notice that by getting 3 quintessences of scaling cooldown reduction, you now get 15% cooldown reduction at level 18. So if you go for Ionian Boots of Lucidity and say Spirit Visage, then you don't have to worry about those 2.5% because you're going to get 40%. Once again, don't really think this is going to be that useful for supports, but if you play top and you're a fan of cooldown reduction, this may be for you. Now, here comes the AD carry part. Greater quintessence of attack speed. Those got buffed. So instead of 3.4% attack speed per quint, you now get 4.5, and with 3 quintessences instead of 10.2% attack speed, you now get 13.50% attack speed. And let's just go for the greater quintessence of lifesteal. You'd get 2% lifesteal per quint, now you get 1.5. Instead of 6% lifesteal with 3 quints, you now get 4.5. So, think about lifesteal quints. They were kind of strong, and they were one of the reasons why poke supports had so much trouble in the past, even before its Spell Thief's Edge. Actually, mainly before its Spell Thief's Edge came along, because AD carries are able to just heal up the damage that is dealt to them over time really damn quickly because of lifesteal quints alone. So those got a little bit nerfed, which is warranted in my opinion, which is cool. On the other hand, attack speed got buffed. So by going attack speed, you now get 13.5% attack speed, which can be incredibly useful in stuff like Vayne or even Lucian, I guess. And this is actually why I think in this particular patch, sustained supports are a little bit better. But yeah, let me explain why. So attack speed quints have been buffed, which means they're now a decent alternative to lifesteal quints. If you don't go for lifesteal quints when you're playing AD carry, you'll need another form of sustain. So you'd probably have to rush Vamp Scepter. However, in most times, an AD carry that goes bot lane wants to farm and stay in the lane until he gets BF Sword. So his trades are a lot better. By going Vamp Scepter, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Now, the other change that I think could bring sustained supports back. Actually, let me just finish my reasoning here. If you add a sustained support to an AD carry that's running attack speed quints instead of lifesteal, you'll pretty much won't have to worry about getting that Vamp Scepter early, because he's gonna get the health regen somewhere else from his support. Now, the problem with picking a sustained support is that most sustained supports are incredibly squishy right now. However, let me just go back here and show you this once again. Greater Seal of Health got buffed, just like the Greater Seal of Scaling Health, which means that you can now get a lot more HP than you could in the past, or you can even go for Armor Quints, as we've discussed before, and HP Seals. So that means that sustained supports can now go to the lane and feel a little bit more safe, because they won't be as squishy as before, meaning they'll be harder to kill. So it's not as risky to pick a sustained support as it used to be. So it may be the patch that supports needed in order to get those sustained supports out of the closet, like Nami and Sona, for instance. I still don't think Sona's that great right now, because she doesn't have a lot of presence in the lane until she reaches level 6. But if you can withstand the lane pressure until you get level 6, then she's definitely worth picking up, and she's of great utility to the team as well as the AD carry in specific. So yeah, I guess this is the video about the rune changes for patch 4.5. Once again, really sorry about the delay. I'm really sorry about the glorious mustache, even though it's glorious. But yeah, next video is going to be about summoner spells, and I guess I'll catch you guys then. So peace out.